Hello and welcome back to UKSG Green 2024. I'm your host for the ending of the marathon. We've only got 2 runs left to go. I am Dino, so I'll be taking you through some GTA 3 with English Ben. How you feeling about the run, mate? First of all,
I'm feeling good, but I didn't hear any noise from the crowd. It's kind of doing my head in. Don't you shake your head at me. I'll clap myself if I have to.
Before.
Yeah, let's go. There we go.
I like the enthusiasm. Before we kick it off, we do have a donation from Dinosaur Bites saying, Ben, I hope the triads behave themselves when you inevitably get the bad van heist pattern and the fire alarm goes off.
Hopefully no fire alarms.
Let's hope no fire alarms during this, because otherwise GTA is just jinxed during this marathon.
He didn't ask you if you had the right version installed.
Yeah, I know, but
that's
I
what
do.
I was expecting.
I do.
I'll do it for him. Have you got the right version installed?
I've been clowned enough already, so yeah, I
That's
do.
fine.
Don't worry, I installed it for him.
Yes, yeah, Josh installed the game for me. That's the only reason it's on the right path.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, mate, take it away.
Yeah, so hello everyone, welcome. So the original idea that was we were going to do vanilla GTA 3, but then everybody got so excited with Josh doing GTA Titan that they wanted me to do it as well. So thank you all for donating. I think we raised like $1,000 for Titan Thrice. So upgrading this into a more interesting run. If you're not familiar with it, or you didn't see Josh's run, or you're not familiar with any of that stuff at all, it's basically just the game modified to be much more difficult in a million different ways. We'll talk about it as we go. Josh will help me as we go. This is Josh as well.
Hello.
Josh.
Yeah, hi.
I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, welcome.
I sort of know things about this game.
Yeah, I mean, good enough to like, you know,
Yeah.
while I'm concentrating, it can sort of keep you all entertained. But yeah, so we won't, because we're a bit behind schedule, we won't mess about too much. But as we go, we'll get moving. So we're going still doing buttons, yeah? Still doing buttons? Cool. Right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hooray.
So we'll do exactly the same as what Josh did, because I think his commentary was actually quite, you know, a good idea that he stole from me. So yeah.
What?
The idea is that we're going to do like, we're going to talk about strats as we go, like a speedrun, but then we're also going to talk about the differences between this and vanilla. So I'll leave like the complicated strat things that we're going to talk about to Josh, because I'll need to concentrate while doing them. But the first thing that you'll notice is that we're not going towards a safe house, which you would usually do. This mission starts off like straight away, and we're straight into the action. We have rain, which makes driving way more difficult. There is a Mr. Wong's van here that we need to steal. And we also have 2 stars. Usually, like, the police aren't a problem in this first mission, but they actually do come after us now. And now we've done this, the big thing in, like, Titan Thrice is, if you ever played GTA 3 before, it's already a difficult enough game as it is. And the reason it's difficult is because towards the end of the game, all of the gangs become aggressive. Now imagine that, but I've just stolen 1 car and now an entire gang is aggressive to me. So now anytime I'm in their district, I'm just going to start getting shot at. And that's the idea of like what Titan Thrice can be. Like, you do a single thing in the first mission, and now you've got 100 guys coming at you all trying to kill you at once. Like, that's the idea of Titan here. But yeah, so we can talk about like a million different things during these early missions, because every single mission is modified. There's a bunch of like new different vehicles that we can do. All of the health pickups, armor pickups, that kind of thing have been moved or removed to make it more difficult, so we can't really prepare. A lot of the strategies, as Josh mentioned in his run as well, they're like, this mod is like deliberately made for speedrunners and against speedrunners as well. So it's designed to be speedrunned, but every single like strat that you would usually do in a vanilla run doesn't work. So you have to come out with like an entirely different route. And the missions are so different at certain points that they're basically like, you know, a whole new theory craft of things that we're going to do. But there are some vanilla strats that you'll see, like this minor thing here. I paused the game and unpaused it. That sets your acceleration in a car to 0, and the marker triggers when your acceleration is 0, so it thinks that you've stopped, basically. And you can do things like that to manually optimize. But major strats, you won't see any of those, so this is like a whole different run. So even if you're familiar with GTA 3 speedruns, trust me, this route is like nothing you've ever seen. It's really cool, trust me. I promise this is interesting.
You promise.
Promise. So here we go, we start off. These are the triads. As you can see, they immediately start shooting at me. I need to pick up Misty. Hopefully she doesn't get shot or anything. Is it okay? Yeah, we're in. Perfect. This Mr. Wong's van as well is actually really good. So you can steal it and keep it for the rest of like these next couple of missions. If you watched my run at ESA, this is where the run immediately started becoming a train wreck, so I'm hoping this isn't going to happen. Basically, this next mission is we just need to go and steal a guy's car, and he has a shotgun, right? But for some reason, if you're like quick enough when you start the mission, stuck on a wall there.
It's going fast, Ben.
Who put that there? Honestly, that's procedurally generated. I swear down. But yeah, so if we're quick enough, yeah, we can run and steal his car, and he won't like aggro towards us. until we go to him and actually steal his car, and by that point we have his car and it's too late. But what happened was I was slow because I was on the wrong patch and things like that, and I made a bunch of mistakes. And I got out, oh, that's my car on fire from the random gangs that were shooting at me. That's why dinosaur bites, as you saw. This might also be a problem here. If this guy gets out, it's over and I'm dead. So let's have a look. Hopefully he doesn't get out. Perfect, he didn't. Okay, good.
All right.
Yeah. Again, things with tightened. Minor thing. If that guy got out of that car, I was dead. Simple as that. That's how tightened works. But yeah, Dinosaur Bites, big shout out to him. He was the guy who donated. He's also the developer. This is a one-man project, which is crazy. Some of the stuff that you'll see later on, my driving is atrocious. I apologize. I'm going to blame the setup because that's all I have. You know, I don't really have any other excuses up my sleeve. But yeah, Dinosaur Bites has like pretty much made this thing from scratch. Like we've helped him with testing and ideas and stuff, but it's ultimately his baby. It's his project. And he's also done one for Titan Dreas that you saw as well. Yeah, big up Dinosaur Bites, yeah. I don't get a clap, but he does. I see how it is, right? Okay. But yeah, so he's like making Titan Dreas right now, which is the same but GTA San Andreas. He's already made Titan Vice, which I've showcased last year. I think it was this time last year, right? UKSG Green, I think it was.
One of them.
I've slept since then. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like a year ago. But yeah, so shout out to him. Awesome guy. Awesome developer. So I was very particular there, because if we crash that car, the mission just straight up fails. And now we're going to do what's called a mega jump. Don't worry about that for now, because there's lots more things to talk about. I have a weird outfit. I've got a skull, and now I'm going to mega jump again and die. And the reason for that is because the mission after the next one is going to be at a certain time of day, so I need to die, which puts me forward in time, and that will allow me to be on time. Otherwise, I would be there at the wrong time, and I'd have to die after the mission, which is awkward for reasons that you'll see later. But yeah, so a mega jump is basically you can do it two ways. You can jump and then jump again and play a replay, which are like your F keys on the PC version, which are super broken that you'll see later. And it'll just launch you forward in a certain direction. The other one that you can do, which I did, was you can attack and then jump and then play a replay as well, which is like a bit easier timing in my opinion. It's a bit faster as well. And it'll just launch you forward in a certain place. But like, if you just send it in a certain direction, you will die because of the momentum. Like this game has like actually, quite harsh fall damage when you're going 300 miles an hour. Also, here's two tanks. These insta-kill me if I collide with them, so I'm going to try not to do that. It's Misty's ex-girlfriends. These are Lidenator and Idegod. These are, if you don't get the reference, there's a lot of references in Titan as well.
Ex-girlfriends?
Oh, ex-boyfriends?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So whatever. It's 2024. Who's judging, But yeah, so, and there's also a third tank here. I don't know who this is or why they're there, but they're there, and they also insta-kill me. But yeah, so those are Lineator and Igod. Those are the original two developers of the GTA 3 Toughened mod, which Titaned is very much inspired by. It came out like 10 years ago. Yeah. And it was like the OG, like GTA, Kaizo mod thing. So I'm swapping my ambulance. I couldn't use a cop car here for this, because if I were to pick up Misty in a cop car, I would get called like a snitch or whatever, or like a cop, and she would be angry at me and I'd fail the mission. So I got the ambulance, which is the next fastest thing that's nearby. And I'm going to switch to a cop car, because we do need a cop car eventually. And the reason for it is there's like basically, one, it's a fast, convenient vehicle that's right there once we die at the police station / hospital. But also you get 5 shotgun shells when you enter the car, and we're going to use that for a strat later on, which you'll see. So here, this is Mike Lips's last lunch. I also, as Josh did it before as well, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm using the vanilla names for the missions. This one is called So Hungry I Could Eat a Pony, but in vanilla it's called Mike Lips's Last Lunch, so that's why I'm calling it that. So here we're going to do the first like mega broken thing of the run, which doesn't look broken, but it's very broken, I assure you. We're going to make a replay. So Josh, now is your time to shine with the long convoluted explanation.
Yeah, okay, so I don't say a word until I have to explain the glitches. Okay,
do your job, Wagey.
Yeah, okay, all right. Wage, what? So on PC version of Grand Theft Auto 3, you got 3 extra buttons that the console versions didn't have. You have play a replay, save a replay, and play a saved replay. Ben isn't going to use the first one too much, but what he's going to do is he's going to use the save replay button. You press it, and it records the last like 30 seconds of gameplay, asterisk.
Yeah, it's more complicated.
Everything has asterisks.
For all intents and purposes, that's how it works.
Yeah, you press the button and it records like a bunch of your gameplay. It's supposed to be like demo files from like older games, and then you press F3 and then you can play that replay back. The problem is it isn't programmed great, and there's a lot of things you can do in the replay. So like the way the replay works is it just puts you where you were and just plays your movements back.
Yeah, it like recreates the scene rather than actually saving it.
Yeah, it's not like a video or anything. It's like running back in the engine. So one of the major uses for it is going to be picking up rampages. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ben is going to use it to pick up rampages, which are like little collectible missions that you can start around the map that will give you like a gun and tell you to kill a bunch of people. But we're going to use them for some really broken stuff later. But being able to remotely start them with a replay is really important.
That completely breaks the game.
Yeah,
you'll see
the ability to start a rampage wherever and whenever you want completely breaks everything.
Yeah. So really quick to interject, because we're talking about like mission differences. This van is parked in the way, so it's an extra like inconvenience. And as you can see, that was a fine drive. Like I didn't really make any mistakes or anything. And even then, we only have a matter of seconds to get out. Like we have almost no time to leave here. About 3 seconds before I would have failed the mission. But yeah, so this is now that mission passed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to immediately start Vigilante, which is another like side mission that we can trigger whenever we want, as long as we have a police car, which is also a good reason why the police car is important. That's the third reason. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the button to activate Vigilante, which is it's coming on and off here. I'm going to hold it and I'm going to play the replay of me picking up that rampage. Then I'm going to cancel Vigilante. And what that's done is it's essentially I'm on a mission. I was on a mission, the Vigilante mission. Then I also started the Rampage mission at the same time. And then I ended the Vigilante submission. So the game now thinks I'm not on a mission because the last mission I did, I ended, right? But then the Rampage is still playing. So what that has done is it's essentially a very long, convoluted setup. And this isn't even the mega broken bit. This is like the somewhat broken bit. What we're going to do is this mod also has an autosave feature. So this mission is really difficult when you play it casually. There's a guy who's driving around in a car, and it's a hot ring racer, or hot wings racer, I think it is. Something like that. Some kind of like, meme reference on the hot ring racer. And he's here. And if I trigger him, there's no chance I'm going to be able to beat this mission consistently. But if I do a certain lineup, I can blow him up from here with rockets. And I'm going to load the save, the auto save that just came through. And what that is going to do is it's actually going to give me the ammo that I got from the Rampage. So nothing is really infinite in programming, right? So what they do, Rockstar, when they made these games, is when you have a Rampage, you have like quote-unquote infinite ammo, but you don't. It just gives you 30,000 ammo of whatever it was, right? To like make it appear infinite. You couldn't possibly shoot 30,000 rockets in 2 minutes. So what I did was, when I beat the mission, I loaded the save and the Rampage was still running. And then for some reason, if you manage to make a save while on a Rampage, which of course never is intended to be done, then you will just get given the ammo. So now I have 30,000 rockets that I can use for the rest of the run, basically, until I no longer need them. Which is extremely broken, but trust me, it gets way more broken later on.
That's like super simple.
Yes, but for now, Van Heist, this is a funny mission, because not only is it extremely inconsistent and annoying, but also we can't use our 30,000 rockets that we just got. This is why we grabbed the shotgun from the police car, because if we were to shoot the car here with the rockets, we'd just blow it up. I'm getting shot by a cop with an AK. Don't worry about that. That's just like an extra added thing here. Usually you would have to... What are we looking at? What are we shouting at? Oh, right, the true crime thing.
Thank you, guys.
I've got to explain so many references, you're not getting an explanation of that one from me. But yeah, so I need to pick up a bribe star, and then the next star is going to expire by itself, because in GTA, hopefully this guy doesn't ram me too much, because this car is very low health. If you have 1 star, then it will expire by itself eventually, as long as you don't commit any crimes. But 2 stars or above, you need to convince the cops to go away, whether it be pay and spraying like we did in that second mission, which was like a tutorial for it, or we use a bribe star, which we did there. As you saw, the bribe stars have completely moved, so they're in completely different locations. So yes, we're going to finish Van Heist. This is a good mission to get out of the way, because this mission is terribly inconsistent, so I'm going to get this out of the way. So, next up is Cipriani's chauffeur. We're going to go and meet Tony, who is one of the big mob bosses, one of the people that we're going to get missions from. and we need to chauffeur him to a destination, and he's going to try and intimidate a bunch of triads. It's not going to go very well, and then he's going to need medical attention. But the big difference in this next mission is instead of taking him to his own, like, you know, hideout where we would get missions from him before, we have to take him to a custom-modeled island via, like, a stunt jump. And if you go too far, you will, like, flip the car and hit a load of barrels and trees and die. And if you don't go far enough, you'll plummet into the ocean because it's a stunt jump over the ocean. So the funny part is until this patch that I'm playing now, it was a pure coin flip whether you made the jump or not. It was legit 50-50. And why everyone was memeing me before the ESA run is because I accidentally played on the old patch. I don't know how I managed to do it. Like, I specifically remember coming onto the PC and updating it, but it just didn't for whatever reason. So I had to do everything in a really inconsistent way. Luckily, it didn't go too badly, but yeah, like, the run fell apart very quick. But thankfully, we're playing on patch 1.9, which Dinosaur Bites thankfully made things, you know, somewhat consistent. Because GTA 3 is already hard enough as it is by default. And then also changing all the missions to make them extremely difficult, you at least want it to be somewhat consistent, right? So yeah, usually we would go northeast here to Tony's place, but as you can see, we need to take him to a mob doctor just off Atlantic Keys, which is the edge of the map. So we need to watch out for that truck, because that's aggro towards me. It's like an enemy that's going to try and knock me over. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a certain, like, liner, and then I'm just going to hit the jump and pray. Now, this isn't entirely inconsistent like it was on the old patch, but GTA physics are horrendous, so there's always a chance I could just die here, so we're going to pray. And also, once I land in the marker, I'm going to do the pause and unpause strategy again here. So, to give you an idea, I can already tell that jump would have failed in the old patch, but thankfully it didn't here. Yeah. So here we are, we're in. And yeah, the pause strat was done for the exact same reason. We want to trigger the marker as soon as possible so that Tony gets out before he, like, falls off the island, basically. So here, this is mission passed. Those 30k rockets, we're going to get those a lot later, but we're actually going to lose them right now because we're going to intentionally die. Because right here, we're, you know, on, like, an island with nowhere else to go, so we're just going to die. And that does make you lose all of your weapons in GTA 3. But we can do that setup that we did very easily now that we have the replay, and we can do that again right here. So I'm going to grab another cop car, and I'm going to do exactly what we mentioned before. So I'm going to hold my vigilante key, and the rampage is still available. In GTA 3, there are 2 different locations where rampages can be, and if you fail the first time, it gets sent to the location B, and then if you fail it again, it will go back to A, so they're like alternating locations. But this doesn't count as a pass or a fail. So when we've made that replay, it's still in spot A, so we can use it here. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to do the setup, so now we have the rampage. And this mission is really trivial. We can easily do it in under 2 minutes, even if we get unlucky, because it's kind of random how it works. There are 3 different vans that we have to destroy. And as you can imagine, with rockets, it's very trivial to blow them up. But yeah, the spawns are completely random, and the directions that they head, they will stick to roads, but aside from that, it's also completely random. So back in the day when you did this without, you know, heavy weapons, back in like 2011 when people were running this in any %, it was a massive reset point because it was just like a coin flip mission, basically. So this is good. We want to keep as many of them together as possible on this road. We've got to watch out for the cops because we do have 2 stars. There's a lot of cops, and we've got to watch out for the triads coming after us. But this is like a pretty ideal pattern if they're all in the same place like this, as long as I don't get busted. So we'll kill this guy, and then we'll kill... this guy's in an awkward position. Can I get in here? Claude, let's try this one. Okay, perfect. Getting away from me, that's fine.
Can I just jump in with some donations real quick?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it.
We've got $5 from Zola saying, have fun and good luck, you will need it.
Thank you, Zola.
We have $10.01 from Potato245, simply saying potato. Stop saying taxi, guys.
That's your meme. Don't you want it to keep going?
I say yes. I'm trying to read donations. We also have $100 from Mindel Spit saying donating for a good cause.
Thanks.
And also a question from someone. $5 from Santai Sick saying, why is Josh, the famous DYOM creator, talking of a different game?
Right.
You want to answer that one, Josh?
I heard there's going to be a version for GTA 3.
Is that...
No. Can you imagine that?
Whoa, Josh spreading misinformation on this. Whoa, that's not cool.
That's unheard of.
Yeah.
We also have $26 from Olimers with no comments. But thank you for all the donations, guys. Keep them coming in for Crisis. It's a great cause.
We can easily hit 5K tonight. $5,000 for the homeless. That would be sick. Yeah.
I think that's a challenge, people. Let's get it done.
So it is a challenge, yeah. 5 grand says we won't meet 5 grand right now.
Are you matching the donation? Is that what we're doing here?
Oh god, you know. I've got a rich guy next to me. He might help us out a little bit as well. You know.
I'll let you two argue that one out.
Yeah. Every time I die, Josh will donate $100 right now. But yeah, so this mission coming up, I guess we'll say before, while the donations have been read, I loaded the autosave again. It's exactly the same thing that we mentioned, so now I've got the 30k rockets back. And very useful, because these are going to be very useful here. The only thing I've got to be careful for is to not accidentally blow myself up in sort of close-quarter
in a
scenarios
tight
like
interior.
this. Yeah, and it's also like the hitboxes for a lot of things in GTA 3 are not ideal, you know? Like, obviously they're better in Titan Thrice, because of, you know, it's like modded, right, and more modern. But yeah, like still, you're going to be very careful. So here, we're going to get ambushed. We're going to pick up this briefcase, and as you can see, like, loads of people are coming towards us. And all we really have to defend ourselves is a rocket launcher. But if I were to shoot a rocket at these people now, I would die immediately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset my camera, I'm going to run into this corner, and if I shoot the corner of these boxes, it's just enough to, like, I do a little bit of damage. I got busted through the wall. Wow. Okay.
So...
This gets so much better. Do you want to know how funny this is, right? Literally, I was doing D-Rus of this run the other day, and that happened to me, and everyone freaked out because no one's ever seen anything like that before. And I said to myself, I was like, that's really funny. I'm really glad we got that out of the way during practice because that is like unbelievably unlucky. And then here I am today telling you in front of a crowd, it happens again.
I was literally going to say, don't get busted through the wall.
Yeah, I mean, that is unbelievable to happen twice during practice and then during the run as well. Yeah. Thankfully, we do have autosave, so it didn't take me too far back. If that was in vanilla and I just set up 30k, and then I got busted like that, that would have been like 5 minutes down the drain. Really not good. But autosave is fantastic for not only that, but for casual reasons as well. You know, like being able to save automatically after every single mission, so in case the game does crash or you soft lock. You know, it's an old game. Like, even though Dinosaur Bites has done his best to modify it to make it, you know, playable, and there's like silent patch and things, it can still happen. You know, I've definitely had many game crashes. So it's nice to be able to have that safety as well. I do also have a full folder of safety saves if need be, but the autosave makes it almost unnecessary. So we'll do the same thing, we'll go through and we hopefully won't get busted. Shoot there, shoot here. Doesn't look like there's that many guys, but it's because I'm like, you know, just shooting massive amounts of rockets towards them. There's a guy behind me. Oh no, this guy just survived. Okay, fair enough. And he did like half my health. There's an idea of the combat in this game. Down here, there's a guy here. He might already be dead, I don't even see him.
Yeah, that's what the rockets are good for, being able to shoot like around corners, basically.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And like splash damage will just take
yeah, like the other guys don't get a chance to even shoot you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Don't get busted.
I'll do my best. I'll do the same thing again. I'm on 18 health. This is not good.
Alright, okay, good.
Not busted? Okay, good. So that was the idea, was to kill all the guys that were, you know, ambushing me, and then blow up the car, and then we can leave. There was a guy that was left alive, but I already passed him, so fine. Hopefully, as long as we don't get bum rushed out here, we should be alright. Okay, we're pretty much in it now. I am going to be safe and go to the hospital and get some health, just to be super, super safe, because you never know with this thing, right? Like, in a run, I would risk this kind of health, but there's a good chance I'll drop dead at some point at a much less convenient location at times. So. Yeah, thankfully the health here is there. There's only one of them, but this is the time that I'll use it. So, excuse me, officer.
Can I just jump in with a really nice donation? I think you're going to want to.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
We have $30 from Red Leicester 78 saying, "Please could you say hello to my cat Harold? He has many, many hours sat watching Josh and Ben with me. He's also recovering from losing a toe due to cancer, but has now been declared cancer-free. So keep up the good work."
Let's go.
Thank you for that donation, Red Leicester. We're all glad to hear about your cat. So,
yeah. Awesome.
Love from here at UKSG.
Yes. So here, this is also autosave abuse. We had a wanted level at the end of the mission, and in Titan Thrice, you don't lose it by default when you finish the mission. But you do if you load the autosave. So obviously, we finished the mission, it's right there, and then we can just load the autosave, so we lose the wanted level. Here, I just need to get a random car. This is ideal, getting a Mafia Sentinel here. You might have seen this in Titan Andreas, because they were ported into the game from GTA 3. Very nice car, one of the best cars in the game. Sure. Obviously, San Andreas, you've got like 70 different sports cars and
there's so
options, but in GTA 3, you're quite limited. So this is Salvatore's called a meeting. the big idea here towards the end is we're going to pick up Joey, who is another like mission giver that you've seen that we've been doing work for, and then Tony as well, and Luigi. We're going to pick up like all the mob guys and go to Sal's house. Sal is the head of the mafia. He betrays us later, spoilers, but you won't even see it because Speedrun's not really going through the lore. But I'll try and keep you updated when I can. But yeah, the big thing here is we go towards Tony's place, who's the final person that we pick up, and it's it's kind of like silly. You'll see it. You'll see it as we go. But basically, the idea is that we're gonna go through, pick up Tony, and then all of a sudden we're just gonna get like teleported out of our limo, and Tony's all of a sudden being kidnapped, and we're gonna be like rushed by like 7 different vans on foot. So if any of them collide with us, like getting run over in this game is an instant kill, whether it be you running over somebody or you getting run over. Like they will just delete your health instantly. Luckily there is a car that we can pick up, but hopefully it won't be necessary, and it's also extremely like risky to pick it up because you have to sprint across the street where all the cars are trying to run you down. So it's very sketchy. But hopefully I can do a strategy here. It's not 100% consistent, but it's fairly consistent. And what I'm going to do is, instead of like, you would pull up here to then drive north usually, but I'm going to pull up here instead and face like more like southeast. And the idea is that when this guy hijacks the car, hopefully he drives into that little section and he'll get stuck. Doesn't always happen, and sometimes he drives into the big intersection, which is really bad news. So we'll see. So those are the vans that are coming at us. Spawn in. Hopefully he gets stuck. He's not getting stuck.
Oh.
Okay, that was lucky. Luckily... Anyway, yeah, never any doubt. Luckily, I did get run over, but then the moonbeam bonked the van out of the way, which stopped me from instantly dying. Can I just...
Get in?
Oh, whoa, I teleported in.
Sure,
that was sick. All right, yeah, good. And that was all calculated. Yeah, we'll take it. Okay, good. Perfect. New York traffic really paying off there. But yeah, so usually if you don't do that, he will drive all the way to the north in Harwood and then go towards like the Crusher, and then he'll crash and you have to steal his car there. So obviously even this, even though it was a bit sketch, it's way better than driving all the way up to Harwood. So yeah, then there's a final blockade, then the limo has a ton of health so we can tank them even though I have shotguns and stuff. And then, yeah, nice and easy. We get compliments from the boss. We're rising our way up the Mafia ranks. And now this mission is another one that's been like basically completely changed, the first part of it. Usually we would pick up Maria here and we would go to Chico, who is just sat like near the party that we're going to be going to later. But instead now we're in a custom vehicle. This is a really good one. This is I think it's called the Ghost, I think it is. It's from LCS or VCS, I don't remember. There's a lot of cars there.
Maria's Ghost.
Yeah. But instead, we're going to go to yet another fully modeled interior. So where I got busted before, you can't usually enter that building in vanilla GTA 3, and you can't enter this building that we're about to go into as well. So not only has Dinosaur Bites like completely rewritten the code of the game to accommodate for all these changes, but he's also completely modeled entirely new interiors like this. Like this door is not open usually. So here we've got to get Maria up, and she's got to go and see a dealer, and then we've got to head back down. There's a bunch of guys that are going to be fighting us when we come down, and the idea is, if everything goes well, that we can just jump down and Maria will follow us, and she'll just jump down with us. That doesn't always happen. Again, it's one of those things, it's maybe like 70–80% consistent. So she goes and speaks to this. I'm going to go here. I'm going to pull out my SMG that I picked up during the pickup. I'm going to kill this guy. I'm going to hold my sprint key and hope that she comes down with me. She does. Fantastic. That's good. And then we're going to kill these guys. Maria also goes to fist fight people, which is why you you don't want to go and fight these guys like hand to hand because Maria can get shot very easily. She's got a lot of confidence, but not anything else. No guns or anything to really defend herself. So now we're going to come out of here and we're going to go all the way around to the Atlantic Keys party. This is quite similar. The only difference is that usually you would have the limousine here that we used in the last mission. So we would have to take a slower route back up to Sal's mansion after the party. But because we have the Ghost, we can take a fast route back that involves driving up a hill that the limousine usually can't get up. But aside from that, this is very similar to vanilla, so we've got a bit of downtime. I would throw it to donations, but I think Josh had... Oh, I'm flipping this thing.
Whoa.
All good, don't worry. Yeah. I just wanted to, keep you on the edge of your seats while Josh tells a funny story, if you want to tell it now.
Funny story? I'm waiting for a good segue for it. Do I have to just out of nowhere?
Here's a brilliant segue for you.
Okay, all right.
Josh has a funny story to tell you
my
guys.
God.
Josh, please tell the funny story.
The funny story of how you left me at a services for 3 hours.
Well, that sounds like a great story. Why don't you share it with the class?
All right, so on the way here, before we came to UKSG, we have to drive all the way up here because I'm from the south and you're from the Midlands or whatever.
I'm from the Midlands. How dare you?
Something like that.
I'm from Yorkshire, man.
Okay, well, whatever, man. Okay.
God's
I
county.
beg your pardon, Ben. I'm from the Midlands. Thank you very much.
I'm so sorry to hear that, Dana.
Yeah, on the way here, we agreed to meet at a services for dinner on the way here.
Yeah.
I got to the services pretty early because I just got good luck with traffic or whatever, and I sent Ben a message and I said like, hey, you asked me, didn't you? You asked me, you told me that you were going to be there a little bit late.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, no worries, I'm already here. Or I'm already there, I said. And for some reason, somehow you've interpreted that to mean I'm already in Glasgow? Like all the way in Glasgow when we were like...
Yeah, so I thought he was already at the event, so we just went right past the services.
Yeah, I'm sat there. I had to wait 2 hours for the agreed time. And then when it came to that, I waited like an extra hour. You still didn't turn up, and I text you saying like, hey, where the hell are you?
And I was like, I've driven past you, mate.
Yeah.
He's been sat there at the services for
You're like,
3
"Oh my God."
hours waiting for me.
In the middle of me waiting, I told you where I was parked.
Yep.
I specifically sent you a message, and I said, I'm parked under the big tree so we can park next to each other or whatever. And you're like, okay, Josh.
Yeah, so I then saw that message, and I was like, Josh, that's kind of weird. Why have you told me that you're parked under a tree at Glasgow? That's like a weird thing to say.
Totally
but
ignore what
I
I
was
said.
like, Josh is kind of a weird guy, so it's kind of like a weird thing that you might say. Like, Josh is quite a quirky guy. Sometimes he just like sends me random stuff like that, So... I didn't really think anything of it. And, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Just parked under a tree. Yeah.
It was just a series of unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah, so you just drove straight past me after I'd sat there for like 3 hours after driving all day. It took me 14 hours to get here because I waited for 3 hours for you.
Yeah. So here's some mega strats for you. So this is, I'm going to do it first and then we'll talk about it. So I'm going to need a bit of quiet time here.
I love the error code.
The game almost crashes there, by the way. Almost. And just like that, we just passed a mission that we just started. So how on earth does that work? So what I did was I went into an ambulance, right? And I held the ambulance submission. And, oh God, it's going to be so difficult to explain while also doing stuff. I held my ambulance submission, and I let go of it at a really specific time when I started the mission. And when you start the ambulance side mission, what happens is it starts, and then like 2 seconds later, it will fail automatically if you're not in the ambulance. So I timed it, like, it's like a matter of frames that you have to time it. It's not too bad, like, it's not like frame perfect or anything. But the idea is that you start the ambulance side mission, and then it fails while you're in like the fade to start triads and tribulations. And then it will start again because obviously it set you like on mission 0, which is like the free roam mode. It doesn't think you're on a mission. And then you're stood right on top of the marker to start trials and tribulations again. So I duplicated the mission just by doing that, which looks really weird. I teleported to the safe house, as you saw, while watching the cutscene. That's just a bug. You don't need to worry about that. For some reason in this game, in this version of this mod, when you start paramedic, it just teleports you to the safe house. I don't know why, but it doesn't matter. And then I had 2 instances of the mission running, which is already very busted. But then I mega jumped to intentionally die, and that just passed the mission. So what happens is, triads and tribulations and another of other missions, basically just like the one thing that you need to do to pass them is destroy, or in that case, kill a number of like objectives. So in that case, it was just a number of triads in a certain place, and as soon as they die, or are like destroyed or killed or whatever, then that's it, the mission passes. There's no other like checkpoints that you need to go through or anything. So when you start the mission twice, I guess...
Do you want me to do it?
I'm doing okay, Josh.
Okay,
I'm doing okay. So I'll get ahead of myself. So there's a thing in this game called mission cleanup. And basically what it is, it's like a bit of code that's ran that when you pass or fail a mission, all of the assets that are tied to the mission get wiped, because obviously you don't want like random cars and stuff on the street that aren't tied to a mission that you're doing. And also what it does is it clears up like, any objectives that you were doing, right? Like it will destroy cars, or it will kill actors or like pedestrians that you're supposed to be killing, right? or like gang members or anything, like any kind of enemy that you have. So what I did was when I duplicated the mission and then I died, what happened is one mission instance failed because I died, right? So that's logical. But then there was another mission instance running in the background that doesn't fail. And then because the game is like, oh, you know, nice one, Ben, you've cleared up everything. You know, we've failed that mission. So great job, you've failed it, you've died. We're going to clean up all the assets that are currently tied to that mission, right? So then what has essentially happened is those triads that are in that second version of the mission get cleaned up, aka killed, and then the second part goes, oh, good job, you've passed the mission, because they're all dead. So then mission passes. So one fails and one passes. That was a very convoluted explanation. I do apologize. But as you can imagine, that is like 5 seconds of gameplay and like 16 glitches that all happen at once.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is like never easy to explain. Like, you know, a certain glitch happens because of another glitch that we do, and there's also random glitches that happen in the mod that aren't relevant to it. And yeah, it's just a complete nightmare. But yes, actually I've forgotten something. I need to go and get a taxi. It's just across the road. Usually in vanilla, this bit is an auto scroller, and you would start the mission as soon as possible, and then you would get a taxi. I said, guys, you would get a taxi. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
It's funny you say that. We actually have a donation, $5 from Droid, simply saying, taxi!
There you go. You could have read that out. That would have been almost perfect. Yeah. But yeah, so the auto-scroller here, it's still an auto-scroller, but the timing is a lot more tight. So instead, I need to get the taxi prematurely. And then we're going to do the exact same thing that we did before. We're going to set up the rampage using the taxi side mission this time, rather than vigilante or paramedic or anything. And then here, we need to get down to a certain place as soon as possible, because this mission actually has like a cool way that you can complete it that is intended. Josh, while I concentrate, you can talk about it, assuming that you remember it.
Yeah. So in this mission, you're supposed to follow a guy who gets into a taxi.
Yeah.
You're supposed to follow him to where he goes and then kill him or whatever. But the developers added a little alternate way of doing the mission, a little Easter egg, where you can drive your own taxi up to where the guy is going to get in a taxi, and he just sees you and he gets into your taxi. And then you can drive him to the end of the mission yourself, which is like obviously way faster and way more convenient.
Yeah. Way faster.
It still works in Titans, but I believe the requirement for it is way tighter, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like you saw me like drive. Usually in vanilla, you have like minutes of spare time to go and do whatever you want. Like, you know, in like 100%, you'll collect packages and do stuff like that in the meantime. But there, you have to drive right there, and even then, he's already almost at the taxi.
And you can't damage your taxi too much?
No, because
he won't get in a taxi that's like all
damaged.
messed up.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
And we're also on a time limit because we need to set up 30k after this, so we've got 45 seconds to beat the mission. So if I mess it up, I then run out of time on the rampage, and this glitch setup doesn't work. So yeah, like it is vital that we make it there on time. So that's why I wanted to concentrate and let Josh sort it. So the change in this mission is usually you just see this guy and he runs away and you run him over and that's it.
Yeah.
But here he's going to escape in a boat. But the developer, intentionally or not, I'm not sure, made it so you can gain control in this cutscene. I just have control. So if you look at the screen, you might be able to see Claude just peeking his head out there up top. So I've set myself up so I can go here and immediately kill him with the rockets that I've got. And then just in time, there's like 10 seconds left, I load the autosave, and then we've not only beat the mission, but now I've got my 30,000 rockets back. So yeah, that was all like a big setup during the auto-scroller to make sure that we have 30k.
Why do you gain control?
I have no idea. I don't know if it's intentional or not, because obviously it's difficult to say. Usually you would say, oh, it's probably just a bug. But Dinosaur Bites usually leaves in a lot of speed tech deliberately.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's, you know, intentional particularly there. I mentioned it to him and he was like, oh, cool. That was it. That was the entire conversation, so yeah. I used to take this Yankee, this big truck, and drive it all the way back, but it's faster to grab this Kuruma. So then we're going to drive to the second to last mission. This mission, if you play this mod...
Of this island.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm completely baiting
Give people the next runner a heart attack, right?
Yeah. We're coming up to the end, guys. In about 45 minutes. But yeah, so this mission, if you play it casually, it's really cool. It's already going to be pretty cool, but it's really cool. Because you can actually meet Tommy Vercetti in GTA 3 in this. Which is like, you know, like every conspiracy theorist of GTA's like wet dream, basically. Like meeting Tommy and CJ in GTA 3, you know, you could get like 1 million views on YouTube for that. You know, like get the pog face and the red arrow on there, like CJ in Vice City, what? But yeah, so we're not going to go and meet him because usually you would go to the lighthouse and he would give you a rocket launcher, but we already have 30,000 rockets, so we don't need to go there. and it would just be a detour. So instead, we're just going to go and complete the mission like normally. But yeah, that's unfortunate.
Did you need that?
I didn't actually. Oh, I almost
thought
clipped
you were
through
gonna
that.
be
That would
inside,
have been.
yeah.
I was about to get like snarky and be like, yeah, I don't need that, and I was like, wait, that actually might be bad. But no, it's all good. I didn't actually need that car because you see when I start it, I actually get given a vehicle right here
Right.
that we have to use because for some reason 8-ball is in there and won't come out. So we're gonna use this. But yeah, so this mission is very difficult in Thrice if you don't have 30,000 rockets. Like 30,000 rockets very much trivializes this, but the idea is that usually in vanilla you would take 8-ball and you've got to kill all the guys on a boat so he can plant a bomb without dying. Because obviously he's like destroyed his hands canonically, so he can't arm himself and defend himself. So you've got to do it. So you would take a sniper rifle and you've got to snipe all the guys on a boat, and then he goes and plants a bomb. And the way it works is in vanilla is he only starts running when you fire the first bullet. So you have time to like, get into position, scout out the area and stuff before you're on a time limit. But this, it's just, you go in there and I'm just going to start running. You see, he's belting it and I can't even move yet. I don't even have control when he's running. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly drive into him, which like bonks him. It doesn't kill him, but what it does is it gets him stuck under there. Not for long. Like you might think this trivializes this mission. It doesn't. He's only stuck under there for like 5 seconds before a failsafe activates and he gets unstuck. So I'm going to use that time to very quickly come up here and just nuke everyone with rockets. Even with that strategy, this mission is extremely difficult due to how many guys are up here. And they all have AKs and everything, so they do like a ton of damage. So if 8-ball gets caught in the crossfire, he's done. So dead so quickly. Another thing that you've got to keep an eye on as well is I want to make sure that everyone's dead really quick. Yeah, I don't hear anyone. Usually they have like really annoying like repeated voice lines, so... but yeah, the big thing is that the guys with the AKs are very accurate. So if you shoot a rocket, there's a chance that they can shoot the rocket with their bullets and just like blow it up right in front of your face, which is obviously very bad, a lot of damage. I want to make sure I'm in this car when the mission finishes, because the autosave will not trigger if I'm in a vehicle. It's only if you're not on a mission and you're not in a vehicle for like technical reasons. So that's actually good, because what I want to do is I want to keep that autosave to like be pending for a few seconds, because I want to drive all the way up to the next mission. Then I'm going to get out the car. I have to do it with 5 stars, but it's not too much of a difficult drive. Yeah, so then you get out the car, which triggers the autosave, and I can load the save at Sal's mansion. And the reason why that's important is because if I were to just pass the mission and then I'm at the docks, I would have to load the autosave because 5 stars is ridiculous. But then I would have no vehicles, and my only vehicle would be that big truck that I took before. Whereas this, you get to keep the Kuruma, drive it, then we trigger the autosave, then we load the save. Now we've lost the cops, and we didn't have to take a really slow car here, basically. So now this is the final mission of Portland, not of the full run, of Portland. And this one is pretty epic too. There is a boat, a plane that you might know in GTA 3 is like very infamously not designed to be flown. It's called the Dodo. And it has like ridiculous controls that like a lot of people can't do. Like it's a thing where like if you know how to fly it and you stream yourself flying it, people are like, oh my god, I had no idea you could do that. I've been playing this game for 100 years and I had no idea that you could fly the Dodo. And what we need to do is we need to take it from one island to the other. You can technically taxi it, like drive it on the road, but it's very slow. So we're going to do a proper flight with it. So here is where Salvatore, spoilers, betrays you. He wants you to get in that car. And if you get into it, it blows up. Josh, bless him, one day was doing... I'm going to mention it every single time. You're goddamn right I am. He was doing a GTA 3 run, and he started the mission, and he gets the thing and goes into the car, and there's a pager that tells you, don't get in the car, it's a trap, you'll die. Josh ignores the pager. 5 million hours in GTA, by the way.
Okay.
And then gets in the car, blows up, and goes, why did I die?
This was in 2013. I did not have 5 million hours.
You definitely did. There's no doubt in my mind.
I'd never played this game before. It was literally my first playthrough.
I don't believe that.
What? That's what the clip is from.
You can't prove that.
There's literal video evidence.
Show me it right now. Josh, I think you're supposed to be helping me with commentary.
I haven't said much this run already.
Can you get off your phone, please? It's kind of inconsiderate. He's actually finding it.
I'm going to find this clip.
He's actually going to find it. See, my hope is that he would go, oh, I'm not going to be petty enough to find the clip.
You picked the wrong person.
And then I forgot who I was dealing with. So this is the Dodo. We're flying it across. And we're going to crash land it right here. Luckily, we only need to hit this marker.
Can someone DM me in Discord the link? That's probably
not
better.
only that, so
Yeah,
now you're
that's
like,
probably
oh,
better.
my 100,000 followers, come and help me. Yeah, nice one, man. Yeah. That's Portland done. We're on to Staunton. This mission has actually had some strats recently that they wouldn't work in vanilla, so I assumed they wouldn't work. And then one day we were talking on my stream, and someone said, "Why didn't you do this?" And I was like, "Because it wouldn't work." And it turns out that it does work. I look like a dumbass, but yeah, all you need to do is it does work, and then we'll talk about it when we get there. But the idea is that we need to go and kill Salvatore. He's just betrayed us, and we're going to go and, basically get revenge. So the difference is that usually the way it would work in this game is it's kind of like an auto-scroller. It's based on the time of day. It would round up to the next hour in game, which is like minute in real time. And it would add 2.5 minutes, and then that's when Salvatore leaves his mansion, and that's where you can kill him. But in this, he's going to be leaving in like 30 seconds. So it's still based on the time of day, but it's so quick that you basically just drive there as soon as possible, and you'll be on time. So I'm going to make what's called a bribe. A bribe replay. I don't know why it was so difficult to say. I'm a native speaker, by the way. On the way here, just before we actually get into the nitty-gritty of the mission, there isn't much to say about killing Sal. We just need to go into a back place here, because if we try and go around the front like normal, we'll get absolutely demolished. But yeah, Josh, you're welcome to talk about bribe replays for a bit.
No, I'd rather tell you about this clip that I just got sent.
Okay, you want to be like that, okay.
It's literally called GTA 3 Blind Speedrun, because it was my playthrough. Anyway, a bribe replay, sorry. Yeah, so like the replay recording earlier where we recorded a replay on a rampage, here
that was they shot my rocket, by the way, and there's half my health gone.
Here he's recording a replay on top of a bribe pickup. So what happens is you got little bribe stars that you pick up and it reduces your wanted level by 1. But he's going to record a replay of himself picking it up, so he could just watch the replay to watch his character pick up the bribe replay over and over again.
Where is Salvatore? Oh my goodness.
I don't know where he is.
Where is he? He should be either here or here up front.
Is he behind the car underneath you?
No, he can't be. This is interesting. He's just literally nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, so he'll watch the replay of the...
Oh, he's leaving.
What? Oh, okay.
Got him. Let's go.
Took forever.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so he's watching the replay now. So he stood on top of where the bribe star is, so he can just repeatedly pick it up and up and up, and it won't remove it. Yeah, you just instantly delete the police with that.
Yeah, it makes cop-related stuff very trivial.
Yeah.
And they fixed it in Vice City because somehow they knew, even though they didn't know about replay abuse until apparently 10 years later, they somehow fixed bribe replays between 3 and Vice City.
Probably just accidental.
Probably accidental, yeah.
Oh,
that was a nice little jump. Yeah. I make that look way harder than it is, let me tell you.
So anyway, about this video of me doing the thing.
Yeah.
When was this from? It doesn't.
I was about to continue the joke and say that doesn't say that, and you can't prove that it does to the camera. But I know you'd get up and show it because you're just tears of pettiness. Yeah.
Oh dear.
So this mission is very difficult and very sketchy. I'm gonna get 5 stars here a bunch of times, and I'm on 30 health from that guy shooting my rocket. So I'm gonna go quickly to ammunition and get some armor. We are on a 3-minute time limit, but it's not too horrendous. I should be fine. Famous last words, of course. 130 health for this isn't really a lot, to be honest. 30 health is I'm going to die 100%. This is more like 50-50, but we'll risk it. It's funny.
Is this when everyone in the game just starts having M4s?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. M16s, yeah.
Yeah, so a classic tightened difficulty increase thing is which we haven't really talked about, is every single mission, everyone has way better guns than they're supposed to.
Yeah.
And now we're midway through the game and everyone has late game weapons.
Yeah.
If you get too close to anyone, they're just gonna insta kill you.
Yeah. So we shoot this guy in here. We have to also do an extra couple of shots, and then immediately FBI is coming at me to try and run me over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up here. Hopefully, they're shooting their rifles at me. I'm gonna blow this one up. Then I'm gonna bribe away all of the stars, and hopefully I'll be able to steal an FBI car now that they're a bit more passive towards me. But as you can see, they kind of make it awkward with them all grouping around.
They just stand in front of it.
Yeah. So what I do is I try and hijack the vehicle, which makes one of the guys run after me, and all of these guys will then get out of the car. But when you have 1 star for some reason, only one officer can actually attack you at once.
Huh.
I thought that was the same in older games, but maybe it's just a GTA 3 thing.
It might be a free thing.
Yeah, maybe. So they all won't drive away, but they can't aggro me. So as long as that one guy doesn't come at me, I'm good. I'm going to stand here because this glass plane might stop me from dying. You know, it might stop one guy from running me over.
Pretty over.
But the second I do it here, you see all these guys are M16s. I've got about 2 seconds here before I perish. This guy's dropping down. Rip. And we bribe it away again. And so remember we were saying before about like the 30k ammo stuff and the replay abuse. This is where it gets mega broken. So this like next mission, it's going to start going absolutely crazy. So the reason why like rampage abuse is like, you know, moderately broken with 30k ammo. I forgot to start Vigilante. I need to go back downstairs. But there's a rampage there that I'm going to make a replay of. I just need to start Vigilante first.
Yeah,
if I were to do it on mission 0, I would pick it up.
Yeah, you need to be on a mission before you make the replay.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I stole the FBI car, because then I've got a convenient submission here that I can use. But yeah, so this is the same thing. Luckily with Vigilante, you don't have to be in the car at all. You've got like a minute, like a safe haven timer to return to a police vehicle. So I'm on mission 1 here. It's not going to fail. I'm going to make the replay, and then we're going to go. But yeah, so the reason it becomes like mega broken is because now we're going to start setting up for like, you know, dupe and fails and insta-passes and stuff. Dupe and fail is the term for what you saw when I was doing the paramedic shenanigans and then I just like died and magically passed a mission. So you've already seen that, but insta-passes you won't have seen yet. So Josh...
Yeah, oh, give me the hard one, okay.
You can give a... Well, I mean,
yeah,
I feel like we've made it easier over time because we stopped trying to be super technical about it and we just kind of give a little rundown.
So like, yeah, so like...
Give us a TLDR on insta-passes.
Insta-pass, okay, so... Basically, one copy of the mission loads. It puts all of its variables in the places in memory that it needs to be, and then another copy loads, or you load a different script. Is that how you do it in free?
I think you're already going a bit.
Right, whatever. He's going to load a mission and then load a different mission.
Yes.
And the game's trying to load both of them. Bad things happen. Yeah. Well, actually good, and you instantly pass the mission. Was that easy enough?
Yeah. I mean,
okay, there you go. When 2 missions love each other very much, one of them instantly passes.
Yes. Yeah, the usually way that I do it is like just talk about, you know, like start mission A and then start mission B. 99% of the time the game crashes.
Yeah.
But in like very rare scenarios, for some reason mission B will just pass immediately.
You're literally just mashing random like memory values together.
Yeah.
And like most of the time the game just crashes, and sometimes like one will overwrite the winning condition of the other, and you'll instantly win.
Yeah. So it is mega broken.
And it also kills the submission script you use, right? Like both missions can never be used after it. Does that happen?
So yes, but it depends. Like, you know, that only happens if you use your first mission, mission A, to be a submission thing, right?
Right.
So like, let's say if you like hold Vigilante into a different mission, then it will kill a Vigilante. But if you start like, you know, a random story mission and then a random side mission, you'll be fine. In this case, we're going to be using Taxi, which I'm pretty sure kills Taxi. I assume it does. We don't use it again, so I don't know. But
Yeah, so like after he does this glitch with Taxi and the mission, he won't ever be able to use Taxi again. The game just stops existing.
Yeah, the crowd goes absolutely friggin' no taxis anymore. We can't make that joke, you know. Damn. Yeah. So this mission is already quite infamous for like casual players for being like extremely difficult because of the extremely tight time limit. So then Dinosaur Bites was like, I'll take that, and then I'll just take another like 2 minutes off your time. It's very tight now, like very, very tight, like 10 seconds of leeway even if you drive really well. And there's also guys guarding the phones that we have to answer. And there's also like coffee stand as well, and I assume that's deliberate. So if you were to do this like a speedrun and the coffee stand isn't there, you would just pull up and like run the guy over, right? And then just stop, like it's not any kind of extra thing. So that there is to stop you from running them over. So instead, I play super safe, stay back, and shoot them with a rocket, because we have so many rockets, we may as well use them, right? And then the final one, the penultimate one is at Liberty Campus, and then we're going to be driving back towards the park. This is just driving, like, you know, it's fast driving, but it's just driving. So Dino, if you've got anything to say, you've got about like a minute or so.
Oh, brilliant, thank you. So we do have a couple of donations to read off first of all. So we have $5 from Charlie, and in reference to the services story that you told earlier, how did Ben get a girlfriend standing people up like that? I don't know if you want to respond to that or not.
There's not really much to say. All I'm going to say is that like my PayPal outgoing is ludicrous every single month now.
That's fair. We also have $5 from Feline Strangely Fine with simple comment, Tetris.
Come on.
I get a reference.
I don't.
Can you explain the reference
No,
for us?
no.
Absolutely not.
Okay, that's fine. No worries.
I would love to, but it's just like more clowning on Josh, and I feel like it's had a bit in it. I left him in his services for 3 hours, Dino. This guy's like scarred for life.
You
now
felt
as a
so
result,
sorry you
mate.
bought me chocolate.
I also bought you a fishing magazine, didn't I?
Oh, right, yeah.
That was the gag gift. I thought it was quite, have you read it yet?
No, I have not read it.
How to improve your course. Do you not want to improve your course fishing, Josh?
Not particularly.
All right, well, I'll take it back then. I'm grateful. You try and make friendships at these kind of events, and you try and teach them about course fishing, and they just don't want to have anything to do with it. Right, so here is where it gets mega busted. This is the driving, playtime's over. So here, I'm going to load the autosave because I need a taxi, and when you load a save in GTA 3, it only spawns in, rather than like random traffic on the road, it spawns in like taxis and cop cars for some reason. So it's a much higher chance of a taxi being spawned. There's one. Hopefully the light doesn't go green, I say, but it immediately
There
goes
was another
green.
one. There was another one.
Oh, there's another one?
Well, it's gone now.
Josh, I can't believe you baited
It,
me
like,
like
as
that.
you flick the camera around, it was right
Terrible. There's one coming this way.
Okay.
But yeah, so now we're going to go grab this taxi, and we're going to do the same thing that you've seen in, like, 3 or 4 times at this point. Start taxi, activate the rampage that we made a replay over.
there. Yeah.
I'm going to start it, and this 2 minutes timer is where you're going to be looking at that for a while, because like everything that we're going to do is be based on these timers now. So I'm going to start Silencer Sneak. The only reason this entire setup works is because Silencer Sneak, as you saw, I had Molotovs. Now I have grenades. If I had Molotovs, this mission would be like pretty much not possible, I don't think. But luckily, it overwrites your current weapon, even if you're on a rampage, to grenades, thankfully. Because this game is like, jank. It doesn't give you grenades, it just like overwrites your weapon. Brilliant. The jank helps this from actually working. So now, we need to kill a snitch called McCaffrey. He's in a very armored vehicle. One grenade with a correct setup will kill him, but grenades can fall through the ground and stuff in this game, because they're like mega weird. So hopefully that doesn't happen, because this will, this is already complicated enough as it is, and, easy parts failing will make this unbelievable. Good, okay, it's on file, perfect. So now we have 5 stars. We need to immediately get rid of the cops, because that's going to make this even, more annoying. Luckily, there's a pain spray right here. Again, we could, like, load the autosave, but that is going to remove the rampage, which we need for this. And now I'm going to start taxi, and I'm going to hold the button. So now, even if I get out of the car, I'm going to have that taxi driver, like, instance, like, ready, right?
You're, like, buffering it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I press the button over and over again. It's basically like that's tied to me starting the mission. So I'm going to hold that button down, and we have 30 seconds left to start the next mission. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to make a replay. Very conveniently, there is another rampage that we can make use of right here around the back of the park, and our next mission is right around the corner. So actually, I need to do it again. It's fine. We've got time. We've got 30 seconds.
Have you?
I was yeah, I do.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't matter if the time ends. I just need to make this replay.
Right.
So here we go. We're going to make the replay. We're just going to walk because I don't remember exactly where it is. Get into the taxi. So now this timer has failed, which means that we're now like on mission 0 taxi. So I'm holding down the taxi side mission, and when I let go of it, I'm going to start the taxi side mission. And I'm going to be going over here. And this mission is called Arms Shortage, and this is going to insta-pass it. So I'm walking in. You see there's a bunch of errors. The game doesn't like that. It almost crashes, but instead, mission passed.
Hey.
So now we need to immediately get rid of our... we need to basically start Vigilante to kill the other instance, because there's another instance of that mission running right now. That cop car is ideal. So we need to stop it, because if we start another mission right now, the game is going to crash, apart from Vigilante. So we're going to do it. The game is going to almost crash again, and then we're going to go and we're going to start another one using Vigilante again. So we're going to start that replay here, start another 2-minute timer, and now we're on 2 minutes for the next mission. But we're not going to insta-pass it. We're going to dupe and fail it, but in a really weird way. I don't know why this works. But if we start specifically this side mission here, which is Bling Bling Scramble, and then start Evidence Dash, which is the next main mission that we need to do or skip, it starts 2 instances of Evidence Dash. And then we can do the dupe and fail method, and we'll pass that mission. So right now, we're basically on a 2-minute timer before we're going to do that glitch. And we need, like, we've got like a shopping list of things that we want to do. So we started the mission, which is, side mission, which is ideal. That's like mandatory. We need to do that. And then a couple of extra things that we can do. We can grab this Armored Patriot. This is a reward from completing Silencer Sneak. You saw that McCaffrey had this, and we can now use it. I'm going to park this in the garage, because we're going to need a car later right here. And garages store your vehicles for you, so that's a guaranteed fast car. The Armored Patriot is very quick. We're also going to pick up this and switch our outfit. This isn't for any particular reason, like the actual outfit change. We're going to make a replay over that briefcase, and this is where I was telling you before, like the route gets like really crazy. So that wardrobe, once per game instance, like you can reset it by like restarting the game or loading a save or whatever. What you can do is you can teleport to that safe house right where you made that thing, remove your wanted level above 3 stars. So if you get like a 6-star wanted level, which we will do in later missions, you can remove your wanted level and you can teleport, but on a mission. Usually all the teleports that you can do in this game, they only work if you're not on a mission. So now imagine a scenario where in later missions, we need to go to another island and then come back to where we are in Staunton. So we're going to, instead of driving all the way back or flying all the way back with a dodo, we just get whatever we need to do and then just teleport right back and instantly pass the mission. So it's like, it's very quick. It saves so much time. So here, this is where Evidence Dash is going to start. We're going to wait for the timer to run out. And then because we're on Bling Bling Scramble, as I mentioned before, the game is going to, again, like die briefly. We need to wait for the, like a sort of like second load to happen there. And now this is really important. I can crash the game here if I'm not careful. We need to get busted. But if I'm looking at the Bobcat, which is my target, when I fail the mission, I'm going to crash the game. So I'm going to deliberately go into the top camera so that I can't be possibly looking at it. I get busted and the mission passes just like that. And that is the whole convoluted Staunton segment done. So now we're back to somewhat normality. So, yeah. Good stuff. We're back to, like, almost normal mission programming right now. But yeah, so that was basically 2 very difficult missions done without doing them, basically, which is the best way to do it in GTA, right? So I'm going to take a water break really quick because I've been talking a lot. So, Josh, keep the audience entertained. Say whatever you want.
I wish I knew the mission order. What's the next
It's
mission?
Liberator next.
I don't know what that one is.
All right.
Is that the one where you go to the garage? Oh, no, you rescue the guy. You rescue the guy.
Yeah, the old Oriental gentleman.
Yeah, okay. So in the vanilla version of this game, right now, yeah, you need to find a Colombian gang car so you can disguise yourself as a Colombian. And then sneak into a hideout to rescue a guy who's important for some reason. And in vanilla, it's like a pain in the ass to find the car, I think.
Yeah, it's random, basically.
Yeah, it's random. You gotta, like, go in there, and you basically don't kill any of the enemies, right? You know where the guy is gonna be.
Yeah, exactly.
You instantly rescue him, and you just leave.
Yep.
Here in Titan, what's the difference is? It's like the guys
it's been a
are
while
way
since
stronger.
you played this. So.
Yeah, the guys are way stronger, obviously. They all have better guns.
Yeah.
There's explosive barrels, I think.
Yes, and there's an entirely new modeled interior.
Right,
which is where the guy is.
There's a whole new area. That's it. Yeah. The guy isn't where he's supposed to be. He's not in a garage. He's like inside a building that doesn't exist in the vanilla game.
Yeah. It is a really nice mission to do because in, say, vanilla speedruns, it's luck whether you get a good car or not.
Yeah.
There is a fixed spawn, but it's miles away at this construction site, which is really inconvenient. But there is a convenient fixed spawn here, so it's a lot more consistent there. And also before, it was 3 different garages, and it's a 1 in 3 chance as to what garage he's in. And now it's a consistent place, so it's much more difficult, but it's not random, which is really nice.
It's a really good change, especially for speedruns. Yeah, it's consistent but harder.
Yeah,
which is what you want.
I'm not going to take that car, but I need to enter it to trigger this like area to start happening.
Right.
But again, intentionally or not, this wall has no collision, so you can just drive right through it.
Right.
And it means that I can keep the police car, which is obviously a little bit faster than the cartel cruiser. And then I'm going to kill this guy straight away if I can. I'm going to blow up the barrel as well, because obviously, as you can see,
jeez.
What happened to that guy there, that would have been me if I hadn't have blown that up, right? So, yeah, need to be very careful. See, I've already lost half my health from, just taking these guys on. I'm going to grenade through that wall, because there's a bunch of guys with shotguns waiting for me around the corner. And obviously, close quarters combat against shotguns, not a good idea. So I'm going to kill this guy. I'm going to go through there. This is the new modeled interior, by the way.
Yeah, this
I'm going to do my best to pre-fire these guys. The AKs are fine. They only get a few pot shots, but obviously shotguns do a ton of damage. There's a guy right there as well. He has an AK. Again, so I'm not too concerned. There would have been a shotgun guy there, and they would have demolished me. They would have pretty much killed me immediately. Uzi guy, not too bothered about. This guy has a shotgun. Pre-fire him. Okay, good. Now we've saved this guy. Bring him out. There is one more little trap. Another AK guy that spawns right here. Him. Again, gets a few pot shots, but we're okay. And now we're going to grab our cop car. little bit faster than taking the cruiser, as I said. We do need a cruiser for the next mission, but there's going to be another convenient fixed spawn, so we can just take that.
Oh, jeez.
Jesus, that was close. That was weird. I want to be safe here. You don't have to do this, but I am going to go and pain spray because this next setup is quite tricky. And again, you only have 2 minutes to do it. It's, you know, pretty precise. It's pretty, you don't have a lot of leeway. And 2-star cops might, you know, potentially screw me over, basically. So I'm going to take a little safety pain spray. Usually you can't pain spray police vehicles in GTA 3, but that is an exception here. Dinosaur Bites has made it so you can, which is very nice, because I'm going to use it here. And I think I'm probably going to also stop at ammunition, just to get another 100 armor. It's convenient, it's right here on the left, it's not too much of a time loss. And obviously, you know, I would look very stupid going, oh, I'm going to skip 3-second detour and then die and lose like 2 minutes later. The only reason I usually don't like doing this in runs is because this guy can get stuck that's following after me. He can get, yeah, there you go. That's exactly what happened. I was like, I don't know if he'll show you, but yeah, he did. He gets stuck. Yeah, we'll pick him up. And then, so we're going to pass this mission. And then we're going to go and do another 30k rocket setup. This is the final one, because we're not going to be doing any more death abuse or busted abuse or anything to lose our weapons. So we're going to do one more setup on this next mission. It's also very good to have the rocket launcher for this next mission, because doing it casually is really tough, but we can do a cool little, like, I would say like a wall bang, but it's like a wall explosion, like shooting somebody with rockets through a wall, in order to kill them, and then we can get in and out nice and quickly without having to go through like the usual fights that you would have to do. And then also, as I say, we get 30k ammo at the end of it, and then that's it. We'll have 30k rockets for the rest of the game. We don't have to lose them again. That's very nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to one final rampage, which is very conveniently a rocket rampage, and it's also very conveniently just down the road here at the church. We don't need to do any kind of, like, you know, replay shenanigans here, because we have enough time to pick up the rampage right away. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold my button for Vigilante. I'm just going to go here. I'm just going to go and pick it up and then let go of Vigilante. I can grab it. There it is. And you say Vigilante fails because I'm out of the car. And then we can just go ahead with the On Mission Zero rampage. So now if I were to load the save, then I could get 30k right here and now, but I would lose my cop car. It would despawn. And I would be in the middle of nowhere without a thing, like without a car. And also, another reason why it's not such a good idea, it's safe, but it's not a good idea, is because at the end of this mission, we're going to have a big wanted level, and we're going to need to load our autosave anyway. So the ideal scenario is you do the mission, then you load, get the 30k, and lose your wanted level at the end of the mission. So we need a gang car, again, very fortunately, and I'll say I always give credit to Dinosaur Bites for this. He does always give in. They might be hidden, but there are consistent spawns, so there is one right here that we can use, which is obviously really convenient. So here, we need to take out the head of the Yakuza, Kenji. I think you bump into him in a cutscene, but like, you know, in terms of the speedrun, he's not really a relevant character. But he is extremely well guarded. Like, if you've played this game casually, you can attest, killing Kenji is not easy. He has guards with M16s that will absolutely ruin you if you're not careful. But instead, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go here. That's just spawned him to go to, like, spawn. I'm going to pull up here. I'm going to stand in this corner for this lineup. I'm going to look in a very particular place. And I'm going to shoot like 8 or so rockets. I might shoot 10 to be safe. So go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'd usually do 8 in runs, but we'll do 9 and 10 to be safe. Cool. That might have killed him. I'm hoping it's killed him. We're going to get one shot at this. There we go. He's dead. We know that because we've got the wanted level. And now we need to escape the area. But thankfully, for some odd reason, there is like 1 pixel right here that if we run over it, it counts as leaving the area, which gives us just enough time to reload the save while the rampage is still running. If we had to actually leave the area there, we wouldn't have enough time and this entire thing wouldn't work. So the only reason that entire setup works is because there's some like bugged line of geometry there that counts as not being in Torrington. I don't know why, don't ask, but it is the only reason why this works. It's very silly. You see that a lot in GTA 3. There's this weird and random bug that you can exploit, and if you don't do it, none of the game works properly. It's super weird. But yeah, so now we've loaded our save. We do have to get lucky with a vehicle, because we need a fast car for this bit. Sentinel is fine, it's good enough. And now we've loaded our save, we've got rid of our wanted level, which is ideal, and now we've got 30k rockets for the rest of the game, as I said. Absolutely ideal. Here, we've got about 50 seconds to drive down to the docks. It's not a lot of time, and it's foggy, which is not ideal. I'm blind as it is, and my driving is terrible, as I showed you earlier. So I'm going to knuckle down and try not to crash too much. Dino, you've got about a minute or so to talk us through some things.
Absolutely fantastic. I just want to talk about why we're here again. So we're here to raise money for Crisis, so a charity supporting people out of homelessness for good. They achieve that through education, training, and support with things such as housing, employment, and health. How your donations work is 90% of your donations will go towards supporting Crisis, 10% will go towards us here supporting to make future UKSG events, so we can keep doing this and raising money for a great cause. We also want to thank ESA for supporting the marathon. Besides providing us with their channel for streaming, they are sharing gear and technical assistance with us as well. And let's not forget, ESA Summer 2024 is coming up, so on the 20th to the 27th of July. So tune in on the ESA channel those days to check that out as well.
Yeah, great stuff. So here there is a plane that is dropping packages. Usually in vanilla you have minutes of time, but you don't here. There's absolutely no time at all. And if it drops all 6 packages, then a boat comes from the police and they start, collecting them. And if they collect any of them, it's over. So I need to be very quick here. But as you can see, it's very foggy. I can barely see the packages. The only saving grace is that they light up. That's the only reason I could see them. If they didn't do that, I would be screwed. So is it 5 out of 6, 6 out of 6? I'm really hoping that I'm in time here, but it's going to be tight. Here. I won't even see the boat before it takes it as well, which is the funny part. I think we're good? Yes, we're good. See the boat there, it was about a few seconds away from taking it. So now I'm going to press F3. I've now picked up that briefcase that I was talking about. I'm going to change my clothes. I had a 6-star wanted level. Now I don't. This boat, I don't need it. It can clip into the wall. And this is why I stole this vehicle earlier, this Armored Patriot. Because, yeah, we've teleported all the way from the docks instead of having to drive and deal with the cops. Instead, we've just teleported with the boat. We change our clothes. That's our wanted level gone. And now we can just easily drive back to the next section. This safe house pickup replay, as I said, we need to only do it once per game instance. So every single time the autosave triggers and I need to use it coming up, I'm going to deliberately load the save and then, make a save and load it. So then it resets the game instance and I can use it again for each mission. Because this next mission that we're about to do, it's going to unlock Shoreside Vale, which is the final island. But for some odd reason, I don't know why they did this in GTA 3, but all of these missions require going all the way to Shoreside. But then the missions always start in Staunton. So you have to go and do the mission in Shoreside, whatever you got to do, and then you got to go back to Staunton again. But as you can imagine, we now have a teleport that we can use on missions at any time to get rid of our wanted level and teleport right to the construction site. Like a safe house is right next to it. So it's absolutely ideal. Here, we've just started a timer to get to the bridge. So the bridge is now available to go to Shoreside Vale. I think it's the same in vanilla. I forget exactly what the timer is, but basically it happens as soon as you start the mission. So ideally, if I go fast enough, I can get there before the bridge goes up again. Otherwise, we have to wait 20 seconds for it to go up and down. I think we're fine. Yeah, we're more than enough time. But otherwise, you have to wait for this bridge to come up again, and it goes up and down. I think it's every minute, I want to say, but not sure. And
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I mean, it's not common knowledge. It's not relevant,
Yeah.
It's just every now and again it comes up and down. So yeah, there's going to be a bunch of guys here with a lot of big weapons. I'm going to use my rocket launcher and hope that they don't shoot my rockets. And then, so usually when you go back here to the final bit, we're going to take a dodo, which is normal, and we're going to fly back. But there's a construction site that we need to go to in Staunton. That's the mission hub that we're going to be going to now. There's a bunch of extra guys here that we're going to take out. There's a van that comes towards us that I'm going to shoot. The reason I delayed is because the hitboxes of these planes are massive, so it would have just hit that hitbox instead. That guy's dead. All these guys are M16, so I need to be very careful. And I also need to make sure I don't blow up the plane, because I need it. I'm going to wait for them to get into cover. These guys. Good, perfect. So yeah, so now we need to get back to the construction site. You can drive or fly, it doesn't really matter. But the important thing is that usually you would just jump over a ledge to get into the construction site, and that would be it in vanilla. It's very easy to cheese this final gunfight. There's a lot of guys with big guns, but you can just hop over a fence, literally. It's so easy, anyone can do it. But Dinosaur Bites was obviously that's too ridiculous, right? It's too easy to just jump over a fence. So we need to, basically make it massive. So what he did was he made the fences absolutely colossal in size. I'm going to do something here that is going to save this run really quick. Don't worry about it, because I don't have time to tell you what I just did, but I'll tell you about it later. But trust me, that just saved this. Actually, I don't have enough speed now. I'm going to reset and go back. you need enough speed to be able to take off here. If I didn't have a lot of speed there and I felt it, so I'm just going to turn back and do it, but it's fine because it gives me enough time to talk about everything that I'm doing. So what he did, Dinosaur Bites, was he made all of the like fences that you would jump over massive, like 50 feet tall, let's say hypothetically. So we have a plane and we're in the sky, right? Like we're flying around. So you think to yourself like, oh, well then how are we going to, actually I'm going to go a bit further back just to be safe. You think to yourself, how on earth are we going to, get over there? And if you were to not jump over the fence and skip the fight, the fight is ridiculous. This guy's with like shotguns, and they're programmed, which is really cheeky of Dinosaur Bites, to shoot you even when you're like, in midair or like on the ground or something. So they'll just like combo you out, like 4 shots from full health, you get knocked over, or you can't defend yourself, and they'll keep shooting you to death. So like your health total from this point does not matter. You'll just die immediately. So instead what I'm going to do is you can see the construction site over there, like the blue sort of tinted building. He's extended that all the way up, like that's custom modeled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something very silly, but it's also quite funny. I'm going to land on this building over here, and I'm going to mega jump to a specific place that you wouldn't think I would be able to mega jump to, but the only reason that I can is because in a certain cutscene, Catalina does it, and it gives it collision. So I'm going to go right here, and you see those boxes there? I'm just going to launch myself over towards them. And I land here, and this only has collision because Catalina uses it at some point. And then I'm going to be safe, I'm going to kill this guy. This guy can kill me from 100% health if I'm not careful. And this guy too. You see the hitboxes here are very messed up. But I need to make sure he's dead. There we go. I've had runs before where I jumped down here, and he shot me 4 times in midair, and then I died. So now we're just going to slowly edge our way down, if I can get out. There we go. Jump down. Everyone's going to start shooting me. I'm good. Not. No worries. Yeah. Well, usually they do. They might have got confused. I don't know. But yeah, like the point is that that's very risky to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we were okay. So I played some replays earlier and said like that basically saved the run. I'll tell you why. The weather in this game is on a cycle. So when you first start the run, this guy's trying to run me down. All right, well, that's one way to do it. We're in rain, so he's kind of like sliding about, which makes it like more difficult to drive, but more difficult for him to drive. Anyway, so the rain is based on a fixed cycle. When you start the game, you always get the same weather pattern. And it's every single hour in game, so minute real time, as you can see at the top right. Every time it hits like an hour, so like 3 o'clock in a second in the afternoon, it's going to move on to the next bit of the cycle. I could tell that I was going to get fog there because I can predict the weather cycle because I say it's fixed. And if I were to do that flight with fog, I wouldn't be able to see where I was going. So there's no way I'd be able to land on that, grey-looking building when everything looks grey. So what would have happened is I would have been in midair. I would have gone, I can't see what I'm doing. I would have crash-landed, died, and that would have been terrible. So what I did was you can skip cycles of weather by playing replays at the second before the hour. So like, let's say right now it's 21:23. The next weather cycle is going to happen at 22, so 10 p.m. So at 9:59 p.m., if I press F3, F1, and then every F1 press after that skips 1 weather cycle. So I skipped the 2 minutes of fog, which I knew was going to happen, and then the fog dispersed, basically. So yeah, very, very geeky little bits, but basically just know that, yeah, like, that would have been really bad if I didn't play those random replay sequences right there at that exact second. Joys of GTA speedrunning, right? Like really weird explanations that will not make any sense.
Like tiny little things like that. Yeah.
But if I don't say it, everyone will be like, what the hell was Ben doing at that point?
There's a, there's a point in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, any percent, where if you pick up an AK-47, the game will crash later on.
Oh, really?
Like an hour later, yeah.
Where is that?
San Fierro.
Huh.
Yeah, if an Outrider dupe.
Oh,
if you have an AK at any point before Outrider dupe, it just game crashes.
Makes sense.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. But
well, it doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I was supposed to teleport here and grab this Armored Patriot, but I forgot to teleport because I was too busy talking about like weather stuff, so I'm just grabbing it here. So this, you might see it's foggy now, and you might say like, Ben, it's on a fixed cycle. Like, could you not prevent that fog? There's like another way that you can basically have weather, and that's if it's set via the mission.
Yeah.
So certain missions are deliberately done, so you might have rain, or you might have like sunny weather to make it more consistent or whatever. And this one is basically to prevent an any percent strat. Let's go to this next section. Where you would... That was a cop there that almost busted me. I couldn't see him because of the fog. You see, it's actually really difficult to see what's going on. But yeah, so basically, on this mission, usually, you're intended to like drive and like aggro a bunch of guys and then take them to a point where you can kill them. But this is the bridge cycle that I'm talking about, so we'll have to wait for it for a sec. But yeah, what you would do in any percent like vanilla is you would take a dodo, fly over them all, because their trigger is like infinite height-wise. I think they call them like 2D triggers, right?
I call it a 2D trigger.
It's not checking the height. So you can fly over them all and then fly to this section, which is a bit faster. But Dinosaur Bites has made it so it's not impossible, but it's really difficult to do it in the fog, because obviously you can't see what you're doing. And then there's also guards next to the people that shoot you down. So you can do it, but you have to have like a perfect flight. And for a marathon run, I'm not nearly good enough at that strat. I'm bad enough at it in vanilla, like I can see what I'm doing. But yeah, so if the fog is set by the mission script, which happens in this mission, you can't like stop it from happening, basically. Those are the guards. That's the guy that I've got to aggro. If you're looking at the map now and you're saying, like, isn't there usually 3 bait cars that you have to do? It looks like there's 4. There's still 3. It's just that when you do, like, a couple of glitches like the Instapasses that we did before, leftover blips can happen on the map. So that one that's, like, far to the southeast now is just, like, a random one from a dupe that we did before. So we only have to do these 3 cars. But, yeah, the idea is that we're going to be aggroing these guys and then taking them to their doom, ideally. But we can't kill them until the very end. The AI has to do most of the work for us. And the AI is questionable in GTA at the best of times. So I'm hoping that they will kill them, but you never know. But yeah, so now we're just driving them to the thing. The only other thing to mention is this Armored Patriot is literally armored. It has a lot of health, which is really nice, because obviously those guys are shooting me with AKs, but I can tank it quite well with the Armored Patriot. But yeah, aside from that, Dino, you're more than welcome to talk my ear off for like a minute or so.
Absolutely, I will gladly do that for you, mate.
Perfect.
So we've got a $5 donation from Aquas saying, see, I told you they can control the weather. Yeah, good old weather manipulation. I do like that in this game. It's really good.
It's great, and it makes everything so much easier, like not having to deal with rain and fog and stuff. It's so nice.
Yeah, exactly. It also helps great for the audience, so they can see what's going on the stream as well.
And so I can see what I'm doing and don't embarrass myself. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that as well, I suppose, but who knows?
Secondary.
Exactly, yeah. Just want to remind people as well that if you are watching, you're interested in finding out about other marathons or submitting to UKSG in the future, don't forget to check out Oengus, where you can find information about upcoming marathons, the games that are being played, the schedules, and more. And if you do !donate, it'll take you straight to our donation page where you can put some money towards a great cause in Crisis. And don't forget, Ben did set a challenge for you guys to get to 5K by the end of this run. There's not much left, so you've got a bit of work to do, but I'm confident we can still do it. So let's get those donations in.
I mean, even if we hit it by the end, that's amazing, you know.
Exactly, yeah, even there, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
But still, 5K before the end of the run here would even be more amazing.
Absolutely, it would. But, you know, like, I don't blame people for, like, leaving their donations until the end, you know, like, for the big hype finale. So I'm not too offended. Yeah. That's my copium thing anyway. So, yeah, here. So I'm loading the autosave here. As I mentioned before, the mission has just passed. I've loaded the autosave. I lost my, like, car and stuff, which is fine. But it's because then we have that new game instance running, so now I can use the teleport again. The mission here starts right literally here. I'm going to jump, which stops a glitch from happening. You don't need to worry about it. There's a lot of things to discuss. I'm going to make a manual save and then load that save. And the reason for that is because the Armored Patriot hasn't spawned. And I would like to use that for this next mission. It is like borderline mandatory. You'll see how crazy this mission gets. But yeah. So as you can imagine, like, usually we would have to drive or fly all the way back to Staunton, but we just teleported all the way back, which is brilliant. Yeah, Josh, you can attest, even as like a, you know, not a super serious like GTA 3 speedrunner, but you know like how infamous Espresso to Go is, right? For how like crazy hard it is. Like easily the hardest mission in vanilla GTA
this
3.
next mission is ridiculously difficult.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in Titan, as you can imagine, in true Titan fashion, they've made it even more difficult.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're wondering like how they've made it difficult, I'm not going to tell you. It is so obvious that you will see it right away. So we need to destroy a bunch of those stalls. You might have seen them during Payday Foray when we were driving about. Those were like, you know, cosmetic to stop us from running
the coffee
stalls. The coffee stalls, yeah. But these we need to destroy them. There's 9 of them. Some of the changes, the locations are changed, but otherwise they're the same. So this new one, this new location in Staunton is right here. I'm going to get out and shoot a rocket at it. And now the game is extremely fast. I think it's 2x speed. And as you can imagine, driving at 1x speed with my horrendous driving skills is really bad. But not only that, but it also means, as a knock-on effect, that the in-game timer is based on the game speed, right? So now, I usually have 7 minutes. No, I don't. I have 3.5 minutes to do this entire mission. Now, we do go twice as fast, but that doesn't mean that, you know, it's the same amount of leeway, because I'm going to crash a lot, because it's very difficult to control fast cars. And obviously, I'm getting out of the wrong place. As you can see, like, it's chaos. But also it means that the police will arrest you twice as fast. Gang members will shoot you dead twice as fast. Like, everything, you need to basically half your reflexes, which I can't do because I'm a boomer. I'm already terrible at, you know, reflexes. So yeah, so it just becomes like an absolute nightmare, but hopefully it will go fine. This one is here. The rest of these are in the same locations. Here I'm going to deliberately park in this lane because I can get out and shoot right away. Obviously, you know, if I parked in any other lane, a car might drive across and right in front of me as I go to do it. In my last practice run, at one of the final stalls, there was an angry driver. I deliberately made it so I only shot on the path, you know, like with the path in front of me like this. But an angry driver drove on the path in front of me, and I shot it and blew myself up and died. Yeah. And that was the same run where I got busted during the pickup like I did in this one as well.
Right.
And I was like, you know, how many other things can possibly screw me over in this game? Thankfully, it hasn't happened yet, but, you know, we'll hold our breath. I'm going to Shoreside, but I'm going the wrong way. I actually want to go to Portland first. And there's a very particular reason for that. Portland is notorious in GTA 3, and it's the same in this, for being like a death zone after you kill Salvatore. The Mafia are aggressive towards you, and they have like shotguns and stuff. And even with an armored Patriot, those shooting you with like shotguns and big guns on the street, they will destroy your car so fast. And this game, every car is like, apart from the armored Patriot, but like even still, every car is like extremely weak. So you will get shot like once with a shotgun, and your car could be on 10% health or 90% health. You have no idea, because there isn't like proper smoke effects to tell you. And then all of a sudden, just like that, you'll get shot again, and your car will explode just like that, and you're dead. Because obviously, if you're inside of a car, this is not good. I don't like this. So there, I have to shoot at the cop to stop him from busting me because my door fell off. But then now I have 3 stars, which is really bad. You've got to choose like bad decisions. This is a new location here in Hepburn Heights. We're gonna shoot this one, and then we're gonna make use of that replay again. Oh god, this is what I mean. Like, look at this. I'm just gonna try and bait these guys away. I just need to get into my car. Get into my car, immediately play the replay. Okay, we're fine. So this replay, as you see, is extremely useful because now we can teleport back to Staunton again, and now we can just take the bit to Shoreside, which is nice. But yeah, as you can see, like the gang's coming at you twice as fast. You know, they react twice as fast. I don't. We've got 3 stars again. I ran over 1 guy, and now I've got 3 stars. Yeah, this game is brutal, even at the best of times. This guy's going to be ramming me twice as quick, which is good. Love this. Nothing like making this mission, you know, 10 times more difficult than it already is being the most difficult.
Do you have enough time?
That's a good question, Josh.
A minute?
I'm going to find out, Josh.
All right, okay.
I'm not going to give you a definitive answer, because the answer is I don't know. This one. I think I should be okay.
Oh, okay, so you don't have a minute, you have 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said what I said, Josh.
Okay,
I think I'm going to be okay. I don't know. But I need to be careful and not crash, because I don't know how low my health is. And as I say, I need to be very careful or not. Because if my car sets on fire, it's over. I know that for a fact. I'm not going to make it. Yeah,
like 8 seconds?
We still got to wait for it to expire. Okay, we had a second left, real time there. Woo!
I did not think you were going to be.
Never any doubt, baby. Let's go.
Jesus.
So now I've reloaded the save for the exact same reason. We're going to teleport. Let's see if the car's there. It is not. That's fine. We're going to just go and save and load again. Exactly the same reason. We need to go all the way back to Shoreside again. I'm going to want that armored Patriot. So yeah, this mission is more of an auto-scroller, but again, it's one of those things where it's an auto-scroller, but if you don't immediately go to the place where you need to go, you don't have enough time. You know, like the auto-scroller is too short. You don't have time to wait around. But here, so there's going to be a dodo, like an NPC-controlled dodo that's flying around, and we need to shoot it down and get the packages that come out of it. It's so weird going back to regular speed here as well. Like, it feels like I'm playing in slow motion. It's so strange. Yeah, so usually in vanilla, you would do a really cool strat where you go to like the dam where it's going to fly over. It's like it flies over like the airport where you're intended to blow it up. But like a minute before that, it flies over the dam. And if you do like a really good lineup, you can shoot it down over the dam like a minute beforehand and collect all the packages and get out. That sadly doesn't work in this because the route is completely different, and as you can see, I've got 10 seconds. I'm not even on the right island to destroy this plane, so it's already going to be like in range before I even get there. So as you can imagine, I really don't have a lot of time here. So instead, we're going to go to like the backup spot where you would go in an 8%, which is the airport. But we're not going to go in a boat and usually do it like we're supposed to. Am I going to make this cycle? I'm not going to risk it if it's... Okay, we're good.
Oh! Oh!
The funniest part was, I said I'm not going to risk it, and I just went, risk it right now, risk it. Yeah, and then
oh my God.
paid off. Don't ever do that. That was really stupid. It looks really cool, but if I failed that, I would look like the biggest idiot on planet Earth.
It could have easily just flung you into the water instead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can like clip through that bridge when it's moving because like the collision is super weird, and you could just die. Like 9 times out of 10, you die there. Do not do that. Very stupid.
I say not going to risk it. Puts foot on the accelerator.
Yeah, instinctively just went for it. Yeah, I'm a showman. What can I say? So yeah, there's a couple of things that we need to do. We have a very limited amount of time here before the plane comes, but this is very important because this guy has a rocket launcher and will shoot himself and possibly me. So I need to make sure these guys are all dead. And also that car will drive and try and take me out later. So we need to be very careful with that. The yellow blip is the dodo. As you can see, it's like pulling in now. So we drove here with a really fast car. We had a good bridge cycle. We just about made it through, and we're only just in time. So we need to be very careful here. Also need to make sure we don't whiff this shot. I whiffed it at ESA, so we'll see if UKSG is the better marathon. Easy. It's one of those things where it's like, it's not even a difficult shot to hit, but it's like so chokeable right at the end. And if you miss it, the mission fails and you got to do the whole thing again. So yeah, here we've got 6 stars, which means the army are coming after us, which is really bad. But if I'm quick enough, I can just grab all the packages and do the exact same thing that I did before, which is just get in the car, teleport. We have a new game instance because we did it before. Get rid of our wanted level, and now we're back at the construction site. So we skip all the way driving back, which is brilliant. So, one more mission to go. So we're doing okay for time, and this mission is really cool. So I'll even say, Josh, unless you've like watched a run of this, which I don't think you will have done apart from maybe at ESA, but you might forget. I don't even think you'll have like seen this before unless it's from ESA commentary.
Okay.
But, obviously, it was months ago, so I don't think you'll remember it. But there is like a really cool way to like abuse this final mission. There's also a convenient dodo spawn here, which is really cool, and you can like jump up to get it.
The boxes.
Yeah, it's like so very, very convenient, very inconspicuous. And as you see, he's like extended
like a runway.
But it's like, you know, it's good enough. Like, you know, you could like maybe make an argument that this could fit in the real map. You know, maybe. Yeah, it's just enough. It's just enough speed. Sorry, like just enough like ramp to get you off, and you know, make sure you got enough speed to go here. But yeah, I'm gonna go and fly the dodo up to Catalina's place. I'm gonna do a strat that is like, I'd never heard of it before until someone asked me why didn't I try it for like, you know, Thrice related stuff. Basically, this entire last mission is like remodeled, right? Usually you have to like rescue Maria on like a platform, and Catalina's in a helicopter. You have to destroy that helicopter, but it's not usually possible to be destroyed. It's like explosive proof. So you have to go through and like, you know, do the regular mission in order to be able to then destroy Catalina's helicopter. But in runs, you always want to destroy the helicopter as soon as possible. But the way you would do that is with replays, but you can't do it with replays specifically in Thrice, because for some reason, if you do it after loading a save during the run, which we have loaded a lot of saves, because the autosave stuff, the game crashes for some odd reason. I don't know why. So we can't do that. That's out of the question. But there is another really cool way that we can do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something very strange. We now have to go and rescue Maria and go and deal with Catalina. She's flying over to the western side. I'm going to go near there, and then I'm just going to start driving in the opposite direction. And the reason is, for some reason, I don't know why, there's some kind of like fail-safe in the code for this mission. If it's Z coordinate that is height, right?
Yeah.
Z coordinate. If my Z coordinate, I'm going to assume it's Z coordinate.
Yeah.
If my height in game, like my, you know, meters above sea level, goes to a certain like low enough point, which I can do by going through these tunnels, Catalina's helicopter is going to drive away and despawn and respawn in, which doesn't seem particularly, you know, important, right? Yeah, it's already weird enough, but that doesn't really mean anything, right? You know, got a new helicopter, who cares? For some odd reason, when that new helicopter spawns in, it doesn't have the properties that the original one has. So it's not explosive proof, right? It doesn't have like any other bulletproof or explosive proof properties. So I've just gone into a tunnel, come back out again, and now this is where you would usually go through and fight a bunch of guys. And Dinosaur Bites has remodeled the entire interior of the dam. You have a boss fight with Miguel, who is Catalina's new boyfriend, and all that kind of stuff. And it's like a 5-minute mission. It's really cool. Like, obviously, you should play this casually and experience it. But we're going to skip the whole thing. We're going to go up here. And now, if we can just get to the roof, then, you know, we can go over and deal with Catalina's helicopter. The problem is that Maria is inside the dam, like, canonically now. It's a cool little mega jump, by the way. It's very cool. That's easy. Again, I make it look particularly difficult by almost messing it. But so now, here's the helicopter, right? So we can just blow this up, which is ideal. But the problem is Maria is still stuck inside the dam and the door is closed. But there is another failsafe in the vanilla script. But if you blow up the helicopter right here in vanilla, without having triggered the section with Maria and everything, she will just spawn right here. Here she is. That's time.
Hey.
Much better than last time.
Yeah, a little
Much
bit.
better than
A
last
little
time.
bit.
Who knew that when you played on the correct patch, which is speedrun friendly, you can go well, you know, do well in a speedrun?
Oh,
Who
Christ.
knew? But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I won't take up too much of your time, but thank you, Josh, for being here. Thank you, Dino, for hosting. Sorry, Josh.
No, that's all right. I didn't do much.
I mean, you didn't commentate a lot because I talk a lot, but obviously you did the hard stuff while I was.
Yeah.
It's always nice to have it. But yes, thank you, Dino, for hosting. Thank you, UKSG, all the tech guys and everything, all the stuff behind the scenes. It's awesome. Thank you for donating. We're still pushing towards 5K, so we're gonna get there by the end of it. Trust me, we're all gonna do it together as a team. Okay. Group activity, $5,000. That's the plan. But yeah, shout out to Dinosaur Bites, developer of this mod. Absolutely awesome, the amount of work that he puts in. Shout out to the GTA community. GTA Marathon is happening. We had merch, but we don't have it anymore.
I forgot to wear it. Yeah.
It's fine. June 1st, big community marathon with all the GTA Speed games. Twitch.tv/GTA Marathon will be there. But yes, I'm going to quickly tab out and close the game because there's a copyrighted song that's going to play. So here's a desktop for you. But yes, let's get moving. Let's finish off. Dino, send us off.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for that run, Ben. It was always a good pleasure to watch your GTA runs, and I was very happy to see that I got the schedule to do that one for you. Moving on, so we've got one more run of the event. It's our last run coming up. It's going to be some Spyro Trilogy by Lumi Laura, so don't go anywhere. Get yourself a drink, get yourself hydrated. We'll be right back with some Spyro to finish us off. But yeah, don't go anywhere.
See you soon.